I'm pumped, man, because I mean both of these guys are guys I've been high on for a long time. And actually, Jared, we had talked about this pre-show today, and I had Jalen Waddle, my second wide receiver coming out of high school. You asked me who I had first, and I didn't look it up. I'm shame on me for that. I should have looked it up, but I've been really high on Waddle because he's just such crazy fast twitch. We're going to see some of that. And Moore's just a beast that it's going to be. That's what makes this class so much fun. We watched two really good guys last week, and now we got these two. It's going to make it for a fun time to rank. But yeah, I'm pumped.
No, I'm excited to get into both of these guys too. They both have some really, really, really impressive abilities that they have that are very unique from the other two guys that we watched last week. And so, we watched these four receivers that, all could be considered one of, if not the top receiver in the class, but all four of them do it very differently. And that's what I think makes this really fun is they all win, but they all win in very different ways. Mm-hmm.
In Purdue.
Dang. Hey, we're getting apparently we're getting no sound coming through there, J-Wack.
Of course. There you go. That should work. I just rattled off let me start that over.
Stuff.
Dude, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, bear with me tonight because I'm having all these technical difficulties with this stupid software that we stream through. So
but you're juiced up.
I'm juiced up,
for it, man.
I'm juiced up.
He gets. People don't know. J-Wack gets so pumped up for these shows. I think like we understand, but I don't think everyone else viewing and listening understands.
Let me say that shit again. So Rondale Moore, he missed the most of last year with a hamstring injury. He played the first couple weeks. 2018, he won the Paul Hornung Award, which is given to the most versatile player in the NCAA. And he's the second true freshman to ever do that. The other person was Christian McCaffrey. So that is great company. And he's the first consensus All-American. He's the first freshman to ever be a consensus All-American in Big Ten history, too. So crazy.
And then if they couldn't hear before, and I added at Purdue, which makes it even more crazy.
And he led the nation in receptions as a
man. That's
freshman.
Crazy when you think of all the good freshmen that come through the Big Ten too. For him to be the only consensus, I'm thinking Maurice Claret's freshman year. Like, how did that dude not get consensus? What the heck? Yeah, that's impressive.
I don't know.
Those Ohio State homers.
Well, I mean, yes. Honestly, the national championship game against Miami was, I think, I always loved playing football. That was when I fell in love with watching football. I was 12 years old, and I was like, watching football is awesome too. I mean, I always like playing it. I just like to hit people, but this is great.
That was that Craig Krenzel and Michael Jenkins?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I remember that as yesterday. Because my family were huge Ohio State fans growing up, huge Buckeye fans, and I forget how old I was at that point, but I was pretty young, so that really just kind of set it in stone, get that momentum going for the rest of my life. Just huge Buckeye fan.
And that Miami team was so good too.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Portis, you had Davis. I mean,
that pass interference call in the end zone. I forget. Was it against on Santonio? The throw was to Santonio Holmes. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into this. We're gonna start off with Rondale Moore here. Obviously, like I said, I've had a little bit of technical difficulties with getting the video to play. Sometimes it's been stopping, as it's happening right now. So let me reload this. Unfortunately, I don't know what's been going on, but
it's just one of those nights. Now, we brought up Ohio State, and part of that is because Jared and I are big Ohio State homers, but it also fit really good with, unfortunately, the first clips, and these were the ones that one of the games that I went through, because 2 years ago, now he didn't get a chance to play Ohio State this year due to injury, but 2 years ago, he torched the Buckeyes. Like, he torched the Buckeyes. And we know all of the good defensive backs that have gone through Ohio State. Lots of first-round guys. Wade was covering him through most of this game, and he's still there, but looking like he's going to be a first-round NFL talent as well. So it just adds more context as to how uber talented this kid is.
As a true freshman against Ohio State.
As a true freshman at Purdue.
Purdue, right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. We still on the struggle bus?
Since you're going through some difficulties, let me tell my story, Jay.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing.
Okay, so I think you guys know that I have a coaching background, and last winter, so this would be after Rondale Moore's freshman year, I went to a Glazier football clinic. So that's just something, it's like, think of like professional development for any job. You go to whatever sessions that you want, things that you think are going to be helpful for, coaching for the next year. You talk to coaches. It's a pretty good, clinic. And I enjoy that because I love football. So I go to this one, and it's Jamarcus Shepard, who is Purdue's wide receiver coach. And I think he's like co-offensive coordinator or like co-passing coordinator, whatever is his role. So I go there because I'm like, okay, well, this would be good. A Big Ten, position coach, receivers, I like the spread. And then also I like Rondale Moore, so I'm like, I could like maybe get some insight, like watch some Rondale Moore clips. So I go to the session and I look at his background, and I didn't realize this. So last episode, I think someone asked about my coaching background. My biggest coaching, stint in college is at Western Kentucky. I was there for 2.5 years. And I look in him, Jamarcus Shepard, the coach, was there about a year or two after me at Western Kentucky. So I'm like, oh, there's my in. I could like talk to him a little bit about that, And so between sessions, I had talked to him, just, hey, I was at Western, just after that, we like talked a little bit about Western, and, I was like, hey man, great job. I had a couple of coaching questions for him. And then I was like, hey, how good is Rondale Moore? I just had to ask,
Yeah.
And that's completely as a fan.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm telling you, man. And I feel like he told me more just because he knew, I was a coach and we had, the same place, but he's like, it was tough because he walked in as a, high school or incoming freshman as the best wide receiver in the group. And like, you don't want to let them know that because you want them to earn it. And so he said it was tough because, you had to still stay on him, and he's just like faster and better than everybody else at Purdue. And this is also another cool thing is he just said he's so dedicated to football. He's like, let me tell you this. So he's like, after we upset Ohio State, okay, sorry, boys, you already know the outcome of this game.
We do.
And that's what this clip's going to be, all these clips about, this game. So he was a huge part of it, upset Ohio State. I don't know if Purdue's ever beat Ohio State that I remember, but I can't remember.
In a long time or so.
Yeah, look at this. They're 3-3, and Ohio State's 7-0 ranked 2. And he said after that game, it's like midnight. And he gets a text from Rondale, and he's like, oh, coach, in the third quarter, I missed this block. I should have done this technique differently. I would have had a better blocking. And it's like, you beat Ohio State, and like, you were the biggest star in that,
Yeah.
And he's not out partying.
Right.
He's not out, girl chasing or, getting, everyone just cheering him on. He's grinding film. that night.
That's crazy.
About a block of the third quarter.
As a true
that's just
freshman.
how he is.
And
yeah, he said
he killed that game too. Like he was the man.
Right.
That's
right.
crazy.
He said he's that focused. And for me, when I think of, evals, like we get to get the film part of it, but we don't know the character part of it. We hear like what they'll tell us,
Sure.
But to me, that's like insight. Like, hey, this kid's locked in. And you can tell when he scores touchdowns, he just hands the ball to the ref. He's not about the show. And for me, that's a good thing because now I can check off the list. I don't have to worry about off the field concerns with him.
Anytime you hear a true freshman at 5'9", 180 some pounds, or 190 pounds is squatting 600 plus pounds, like I'm like, okay, this guy puts in the work. Like that. So that's a great story, Nick. Thanks for sharing. Like those are the types of insights that you like to hear, because it's tough. You can't see that on film, So thanks for sharing that. Let's see if this works. Nope, I had it working, and it's just, my goodness, man. I don't understand.
So we had a question over here. Paust asked where I had these guys ranked before freshman year. I can't remember. I'd have to pull it up. I had Jalen Waddle.
Here we go. It's going.
As my wide receiver 2.
Shut up, Nick.
All right.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. All right. We're not saying anything else.
Jared is just struggling tonight. It's not me. It's the software. All right.
We good?
So we got more in the slot here.
All right. Play it through this first time.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do that with all of my plays. So, all right. So we have them lined up in the slot here. First of all, nobody over top but burst off the line. You'll see that a lot from him. Burst off the line. Good quick route. And then he could easily run out of bounds for the first down here. He knew exactly where it was, but what he does, he cuts back inside. And this, I'm going to emphasize this several times with him. His ability, one, to make guys miss. He is elusive, like textbook elusive. But two, he has really good vision downfield, and he understands his angles versus the other players' angles and what he needs to do to be able to beat those guys. And thirdly, he's strong. Like, he is a strong player. You think of somebody at his weight that, we could fling him around. And no, he is strong. He is compact. So you see all of that coming together on this play here. And look how quickly he breaks off to the outside there. So quick, so smooth.
Yeah. Like you're saying, I think of mindset. He has a different mindset than other guys his size to cut back inside here, and balance too. Think of him coming under balance to cut that back inside.
Absolutely.
Lined up in your slot again.
All right, so this is something that I did see. I saw between my two games, I did see 3 drops, which is something to keep an eye on. He's electric with the ball in his hands, but he's not a great hands catcher, and that's something else I'm going to point out with a couple other plays. He tends to catch with his body a lot more than I saw some of the other guys. So we'll see that as well, but it is something to keep. I'm not overly concerned about it, but that's my red flag, my yellow flag at this point.
That is behind him.
Yeah, it's not a great throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great throw, but it hit him right in the hands.
2 games I watched, I didn't see any drops. Just
I had a one or maybe a half. Where it's like it
could have been counted either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 3 in my 2 games for what it's worth.
So we got him lined up here at the bottom versus Sean Wade. It looks like.
Yep, and that was the guy primarily guarding him, whether he was in the slot, which is mostly what he ran.
I think we get a better look at it. No,
so
we don't.
Huh. Maybe I gave you the wrong time again because it wasn't the play I thought it was.
Okay. Decent route here.
We'll still work with. Actually, you know what? No, I know exactly why now. Sorry. Run it one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead and just run it through.
Got you.
Yep. Okay. So this wasn't the only example of it, but it was his quick burst off the line that I wanted to show. And even though he had a man lined up over him, look how much respect. Now, it looked like it was actually zone coverage now that I look at it. So it might not have been the play that I thought it was because he broke to the outside right away. But He has great acceleration off the line. I'm not sure if I had the right clip on that though.
It's all right. They're definitely trying to show man here pre-snap. Then they bail out.
Breaks the zone right away.
Yep.
But he settles down in the zone. That's smart. That's knowledge.
Yep.
For a freshman.
Mm-hmm. Shows strength there after the catch. Now he's lined up in the backfield now.
This play.
All right. So we're just going to – don't say anything.
Sorry, boys.
Just let it happen.
Just gives it to him, man.
Now, let's look at the situation here.
That's a dagger.
Fourth quarter. They're up in the game. Only chance that Ohio State has is to make a play, make a stop. Not only do they not stop him for the first down, but several broken tackles. He literally gets thrown and still keeps his feet. Like the amount of balance that you have to be able to do that against what year in, year out is the best team in the Big Ten in this type of game as a true freshman shows something really special to me.
Yeah, this is a true freshman right here, running through somebody.
The one thing I like about this that is probably, undernoted is you look at the, 3rd and 7, gets the first down, but you want that clock to keep going. So I think he
stays in bounds.
He stays in bounds. He gives the contact to stay in bounds, and it just worked out for him.
He's like, I could score.
And did you see him see that safety too? Change his angle at the last minute right before the end zone because he had the awareness to see the safety coming in from the side. Like, just everything about this play is poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a dagger though, Garrett. God.
Yep. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt to pick this game, but it was too good not to pick.
I remember being like, who is this kid? Like, what?
That happened twice that season. This game with him and Anthony McFarland for Maryland.
Alex wants to know where would you rank the 2020 class?
We'll get to that, Alex. We're not there yet. We have to get through him and Waddle.
Easily top 5 though, yes.
Then we can talk about those. Yeah.
Okay, so this one was a little bit of a negative to me. And maybe I'm being a little bit nitpicky here, but there is times where I think he wants to do a little bit too much dancing. He has the speed to just get to the pylon there. And I think he was trying to do a little too much. Didn't read this one very well. He had everything coming from the inside. Am I being a little nitpicky?
I mean,
yes, it was tough to find a lot of negative on this, but I think he should have kept his momentum going to the pylon.
I have a couple clips. Same thing, same negative. Dances too much, and I mean, if he takes it straight to the pylon, I think he scores.
I think so too.
I'll only say he's reading that block, and that guy has outside leverage, so he's like, I'm going to cut inside of it. Another guy missed the block.
Yeah,
it's true, but he had so much pursuit behind.
Yeah, he had more room out there. Yeah. You could have widened him and then cut in.
That's one thing that seems to not translate well to the NFL. Dancing too much. You don't want to do that. AKA David Montgomery.
Okay, so this one, wait for the replay on this one because you don't really get a good view of it right off the bat. But this one's both a positive and the negative for me. So first of all, broke that guy off. When you, Nick, I love it. I use it all the time now. Telling a story, he does that off the line here. He absolutely had him bit and frozen, just absolutely frozen in his tracks. Great cut to the inside. But then this is what I commented on earlier. Another body catch. I see a lot of body catches, and I get where it's at there, but that is one thing I would like to see more of is more hands catching, less body catching.
Mm-hmm. The one thing there that I struggle with is he took a lot of time to make that move. And
he did, but it allowed everything to open up in the middle. Do you see everything else?
And that's my question. Like, I don't know if it's like designed for him to delay.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it could be.
Because there was so much room there, and I think he might have been waiting for Bryson Hopkins to clear out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the quarterback's waiting on him, too, because he's like, shit, I'm about to get hit. Come on, make a break. Like, look, he's already looking. He knows he's going there.
Yeah, it's a blitz.
But yeah, I mean, one-on-one situations like that. Is that a safety or a linebacker? Can't tell. But
he wins either way.
Yeah. Okay, so this is mine. Just want to show off how quick and elusive he is. I mean, look at the quick twitch, natural ability here. Throws a stiff arm on another guy. Whoop. breaks a tackle, and gets upfield fast.
How about,
He makes him completely whiff in such a small area too. Like it wasn't like a big move.
Can you go back to the start of that? Like he catches it. I mean, that's pure reaction.
Yeah,
He has very little time to decipher that.
Mm-hmm. You can't teach that. You don't teach that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's the stuff I love to see. Traits. You say it all the time, Nick. Mm-hmm. Let's find the traits of these guys.
Toolbox. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, I see you talking about it down here. With him coming out of the supplemental draft, I don't believe he would be eligible because this would only be his junior season. So if that even happens, which is looking less and less likely, he wouldn't even be eligible. So you'd be looking at more like guys like Tamorian Terry, Devonta Smith, and then some of the running backs, Najee, Chuba, Etienne, those guys.
And from what I've read is they're not going to let them do that unless there's like some huge concern, like there normally is, like a huge medical, a huge financial, a huge whatever. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
And if anything, there was a great step today towards potentially there being college football with them allowing the college athletes to come back to campus July 1st. So if anything, that was a step in the positive direction.
Yeah, so here we talked about it last week, the scramble drill. He's low, nice. Goes high, sees his quarterback getting outside the pocket, so he gets open, gets upfield. Just a heads-up play, high IQ play. You see it quite often with this guy. Yeah.
J-Rock, how much would you love to have him as your receiver?
It'd be too easy.
He make you look so good.
Both these guys. That's why they're both going to go first round next year. Mm-hmm. So here's a clip where too much dancing. It's 3rd and 6. Catch the ball. You see 2. You split 2. You can't beat two of these guys. I don't care how good you are. They have good leverage on you here. I think if he gets upfield, then the coach can make a decision whether to go for it or not, even though they're inside their territory. But it's just creating good habits. So, I mean, quit dancing. Get upfield. Get north and south. Garrett pointed that same thing out earlier. But young kid, still used to the high school game where he could beat everybody, so.
Now, was this game, this was from his sophomore season, right?
Yeah, this one is from his sophomore
This one's from 2019, so. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, which is still crazy young. I just wanted to make sure I had it right.
Ooh.
Yeah, another one here where I thought it was good and bad. Another clip where I thought he was dancing too much. But great hands here.
Great catch, yeah.
Catch. An adjustment, body control.
Mm-hmm. But get upfield, man. Like, I understand that you want to score every play, but see, he starts running backwards. Like, just get upfield. I think they only ended up gaining a couple yards.
Yeah, because he lost almost 4 there.
Yeah, without any forward progress.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great catch here. Snatches it.
Nick, you're the offensive coordinator there. What would you be telling your wide receiver in that situation?
See, what's tough for me is that sometimes I think if it was a situation like J-Rock was saying, the one before was 3rd and 6, yeah, you're fighting to get up there. But if it's like 1st or 2nd down, I don't know that I'm that mad about that play because he's proven, to get away with some of that stuff over time. Like I think of, you think of, Reggie Bush or some of those guys. If you told him to like not be Reggie Bush and do all these crazy things, then he wouldn't be who he is. I think, this where he would gain, like you're saying, 4 yards, maybe 5 yards more. But the payoff is he has that crazy touchdown against Ohio State. Like you never know what's going to happen. I think situation based, I'm okay with it.
Okay. We'll let this one run.
Beautiful play.
Yeah, just balance, strength, yak. Here's a good view of it. I mean, he takes a shot there.
He's 180.
Yeah. Takes a shot, absorbs it like it's nothing, and then he knows where to go. Gets upfield, and he's gone.
I was trying to think of a comp for him earlier, and I literally came up with nothing. Like I was like, I have no clue who to comp this guy to. Like he's
I've got one.
Well, you got
one. Is it a Rams player?
Steve Smith.
Okay.
That was the closest thing I could think of.
Strong, small. I mean, and we think of like, and that's the problem when you think of a comp, you think of like, oh yeah, but Steve Smith wasn't that fast. Like when Steve Smith was younger, he was faster.
Oh yeah.
He's like a
He was
4.4 guy.
fast.
I think Moore's faster, but
He ran a
certainly,
4.33 coming out of high school at the opening.
I know he's gonna be crazy.
42-inch vertical. They test the vertical differently at the opening, right?
Yeah. So what,
Time in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so they do like circles that hold themselves up, and that's why you'll have different verticals than you see at the combine. The combine is, and people think this is always wrong when tall guys get an advantage. They measure you and they adjust the ladder to your reach,
Right.
And then you have to jump and hit
Yeah.
as many of the little ladders that you can.
Great catch there.
Great catch.
And then he slips a tackle. Like, that's a tough catch there. Look at that.
It's great
So,
extension.
Yeah, I wanted to show off his hands because I actually didn't really notice. Like I said, I didn't see any drops in the games that I broke down. And I saw some nice catches like this one and then the previous one we showed.
Well, and it could be the difference between freshman and sophomore season. That's something that he could have gotten better at.
Yes, I think both my games.
Especially if he's that hard of a worker. Yep.
So we don't get to see him run on the boundary too often, so I thought this would be a good one to show. Typically he's lined up in the slot, sometimes in the backfield. So he's lined up here at the bottom of the screen, runs a good comeback route, breaks it down, and then he explodes out of that cut. Makes a good catch at the sideline.
Man, he's fun.
I like his angle too. He's coming back to the football.
Mm-hmm. He explodes out of that break too. He's so explosive.
That DB drove on it because he had 5 yards of cushion and was still backpedaling to respect his speed.
Luke Brown says he's too short. We are wasting our time.
Oh, well, you're not going to like the next guy then, Luke.
He doesn't play short, my man.
Yeah, exactly. Tell that to Steve Smith or Antonio Brown.
So I think this is one of your cuts here, Nick, versus Vanderbilt.
Oh, you're right. I'm up. Yeah, so Vandy is going to be this year, and then I did another one that was last year. So what I like about this one is if you go back to the beginning here,
I think they're going to show it again, right?
Is the route running. Yep. So right there you see, but I want to go back to the start because you can see the alignment. And to me, that's always, you have to have the plan. So when you start this one, keep pausing at the beginning right there. Okay, look. So the defender, whether it's a backer or a safety, he's aligned completely inside of him because you can see his right foot, the defender's is right on top of where his lead foot is. So he's a full man inside of him, but he has to run a slant. So you'll watch him, he'll take a couple steps outside that hash to get him to widen, and then he avoids him inside. To me, that's just such beautiful football and route running. That's just beautiful.
Even a little physicality there. I like that.
Yeah, he used his hands to get off of that, as he tried to recover there. Beat him.
Yeah, so he was attacking his outside shoulder here clearly so he can get inside.
Use his hands. Boom.
Good hands catch there.
Mm-hmm. Avoided a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one where it was like, if you want to call it, that's a negative. And then look at him just avoid and just be athletic and make a guy miss. Like, it's insane what he does. He's so good.
You telling me this guy's not going to be a PPR machine?
He's too short. Just messing, Luke. Oh, man. So I don't know if he was like trying to go like catch and run too fast there, or if that's like a legit hands issue. That's what's tough for me. He's taking the field.
So Cape Bordeaux asks, quick question: how can you know what they are running? Is it based off where guys are?
What do you mean by running?
Yeah, I'm not really
route?
sure.
Is that what he's?
You have to define running there for us, Cape Bordeaux.
Yeah, he got some serious mud in his face mask there. I think they already showed it.
So this is another one I'm guessing from, because I got these clips. I think, yep. So he avoids there. And what I love about this one is, so much of a play design is spacing. And so you'll see, you go back to the start here. So he avoids inside, but then widens back outside to stay on that hash to increase the spacing. And so we could have a better opening versus that safety. Because JWAC, as a quarterback, when they can get bracketed and two receivers will run closer to each other, it's easier for the safety to guard them.
Yep.
So right there, that's just smart awareness of avoiding and then getting to where he needs to be and making a play. And then he adjusts. This is behind him.
Yeah.
And catches that.
Good hands again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good clip. Just another heady play, heady route running, savvy move by a young player. And like that's what makes him so good, man. Like he has all these really, really good athletic traits. I would almost call elite. And
he is elite. He's an elite athlete.
Yeah, and then
but he works hard, makes a difference for me. Like I think he's going to get better because he works hard.
And like we're talking elite at an NFL level too. So, and then he has these heady plays. Just that's what makes him so good.
We haven't even touched on anything with. We haven't even touched on anything with him as a return man too. Like he's a very good return man as well.
Right. So what I like about this one is and again, one of my themes that I liked with him is his adjustments. I think actually this is not a great route. I think he should have stemmed outside of 28 or pushed him far outside before he crossed the middle. But he used to avoid the ref here. And so when you watch him catch this, it's a body catch. But he hops in front, which coming back to football is what you want, and avoided the ref. And is that reactionary? Is that by design? I don't know, but that's a good thing. Because right here, he catches it, comes in front, and it just makes the play happen.
Yeah.
And all that's good. Like, I know there's a body catch there. I think it was a little behind him, so you had to kind of pause a little.
Slow down a little bit.
But come back to the ball is exactly what you want every time. And then scores.
Kate Bordeaux says, like, plays, like passing plays or runs. I'm still not exactly following on what you're asking us. Like, are you asking us how do we know, like, when they're running the ball or throwing the ball? I'm not sure. I don't know if you were watching last week, but we kind of switched up our format and how we're doing these. We've already broken down the clips beforehand. Each of us watched 2 games, and we gave about 5 to 6 clips each that we wanted to show. That's what we're doing now. We're not watching one full game like we used to, but
okay, yeah, that's what he was asking.
I don't know if you can rephrase your question, but
so
he just said yes. I think that's what he was asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is one I wanted to highlight. It's a deep target. We don't see a lot of deep targets here, but he still does the subtle push-off move, tracks the ball well, adjusts and catches it. And you'll see it more on the replay, I think, of the subtle push-off.
There's a couple good replays on this one.
But, like, that, to me, just encompasses an all-around prospect there.
Yeah, again, playing on the outside like we don't typically see, but that's a question you know that we have. Can he play on the outside? Yeah. Makes him that much more.
And adjusted back. That's a tough adjustment, too.
It is.
Giving Sky Designs here some love.
Yeah, and so this is just a one-off clip that I wanted to. Can you stop and go back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you always like to play it all the way through. Never mind. I'll follow the Garrett way. Play all the way through, then we'll go back.
By request from our YouTube comments, can you let the play run first and then break it down? I agree. We just get a little trigger happy. So I'll run it back here for you, Nick, unless you want to see the replay angle.
No, that's okay. I want it from this angle. So what I like the most about this is, and we had talked about him doing adjustments, right? And he adjusted to a poorly thrown ball, adjusted to one down the field, adjusted by jumping in front of the ref. Here, he gets his handoff and has to stop and alter his path right away. And then he has to alter his path again. And then he scores the touchdown. But right here, okay, adjustment, okay, move, adjustment. And then his receiver makes him score this touchdown, I think. But that's just savvy, knowing, your body and what you can get away with in terms of cutting and ability. It's just a beautiful thing. He's such a weapon.
For sure.
Because if you look at Northwestern, you can't play that any better than that. That's just a superstar.
Yeah.
That stop and go on a dime is so, man, that's tough. And that's frustrating as a defensive player when you have a guy that can make those types of, like, I remember, obviously I never got to play against anybody this talented. But, for most defensive players, specifically linebackers, like if a guy wants to like get physical with us, okay, we'll get physical, like we'll pop. But when a guy just has that much athleticism and that much speed, you're frustrated because there's almost just nothing you can do about it. Like you get in front of him, you watch his hips, and he's just that quick, and that's frustrating as a defensive player. One-on-one in the open field against that type of athlete, it is a no-win situation.
Sure. Well, that wraps up the Rondale Moore tape. Clearly great in the open field. We pointed out a couple times where we thought he danced a little too much, and that could just be, a little bit of immaturity being a young player. That's something he probably needs to work on a little bit. But like Nick said, you don't want to take the playmaker out of him. So
should we do this right now? So last week we had Bateman and Chase. That was the consensus of how we had them ranked. Where would you put Rondale Moore in those two right now?
Garrett, you go first.
I know my ranks. I know, and maybe I'm saying, should I say where I have Waddle with it yet, or should I wait?
No, we'll wait on Waddle.
Okay, we'll wait. All right.
Kind of
so it's Bateman, Moore, Chase for me.
What do you got, J-Wack?
Moore first for out of those three. Moore, Bateman, Chase.
That's how I have it. I have Moore first. I think that he's the only one that, and again, we never know how things could work out. I think he's the only one that could be a truly special talent.
Yeah. I
The
agree.
other ones could be good, but I think he could be special.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's move on to Jalen Waddle. Waddle, baby, waddle, baby, waddle, baby, waddle.
Gosh, and you know what about Waddle too is that he kind of got, his sophomore year kind of got overshadowed because he had a better freshman year.
He had a better freshman season.
But like they just had so many weapons there. Like I don't think it's an issue of him. I think it's weapons. Like they just had so many. I wanted to point this one thing out. You were doing all your stats earlier, J-Wack. I got one for you. Okay. Jalen Waddle had 20 punt returns in 2019. 20. His average is 24.4 yards. Average.
It's a quarter of the field.
Yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, and he had some called back, I think, too. Like, dude is a freak returning the ball. Freak.
No, he's clearly a freak. And I think we're starting off with Garrett's plays here, right?
Yep, we're starting off with me.
Of course you take the Auburn game. Garrett,
Well, I mean,
where you went off.
Yeah, I left that one for you guys. I was trying to be nice.
appreciate it. All right. Is this one mine?
Yeah, I think you pointed out that he's just a little lazy on this play.
Oh, okay.
A little slow.
I have it in a different order here. Okay. I don't know why I have a different order. Yeah, so he gave it away right away that it was a run play. Like I knew right off the bat without having to look at anything else because I wasn't even watching the rest of it. I was simply watching him. I knew right away that it was a run play. Kind of jogs off the line. Like, is that a skill set issue? No. Like, but it is a question for me. Like, at least, I was showing off with Bateman last week, some of those things where he was setting up stuff for later because of what he was doing off the line of scrimmage on run plays. He's not setting anything up for himself on this with that. And so I was a little bummed at seeing that.
Yeah, I'm going to restart this again. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to figure this out.
Did you guys watch this Alabama-Auburn game?
Not live. I watched it later.
Okay.
But I did not watch it live.
I think I did.
Even though, okay, either way.
We're back.
There was the punt at the end that Auburn was going to punt it. And then, they had, the penalties, and Auburn got a first time to have to punt it. If they had to punt it, do you think Waddle would have returned it for a touchdown?
He might have. He couldn't be stopped this game.
Dude,
everything he touched turned to gold.
I feel like it's a 50-50 chance.
This game.
So I specifically put this play in here. I could have put a bunch of different ones in, but I just wanted to show his kick return ability. That was simply all I was aiming to do with this. Making guys miss in the open field. He sets up his blocks, has good vision to see where it is, and then he kind of knows his speed and knows he's not going to catch me. That is that is something that I think is going to be scary at the next level, is how much is he going to affect special teams? Because I do think he's going to be a good receiver as well. I'm not taking anything away from that. But I do think he is going to make an absolutely huge impact on special teams.
Kind of reminds me like Devin Hester.
Right. I mean, to me here, I don't think he's running that fast. I think he's like, I'm good.
No, but he's not. At the end, he kicks it into another gear, though.
Right, too. Right. I mean, there's a play against Auburn, I think his freshman year, where he has this crazy burst gear. And I'm like, that's not right here. You can tell he's like, I'm fast enough. I got it.
Exactly. Yeah. I know.
You're right.
It's crazy.
All right, go ahead with this next one there, J-Wack.
Dude, what a freak, dude.
I know, man.
Now this one shows off the speed a little bit more. Now watch this route. Good route. Gets upfield. Splits the two defenders. Then he sees the safety, widens out, and all of those guys have the angle. They all have the angle there. They should be able to get him, but that's just unreal speed. Like, honestly, I'm not sure his speed is that far off from Henry Ruggs.
Oh, no. I think he's right on par with him.
And I have a play later, we can debate that one, Bryce, where I have them both running.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we'll chat about it. Yeah,
I was going to say, I think their 40 times are going to be scary close.
I think he's quicker than Ruggs.
Well, me too.
I do too.
Better with the ball in his hands, too, after the catch, like making people miss and stuff.
He's got like this like wider frame for little guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he can like do more. Does that make sense? He's not really linear. He's a little wider, I think.
For sure. And he's like, he never loses speed when he's like turning and stuff. It's crazy. He
turns like
so
wider in terms of like his where his feet are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, that's nice.
All right. So this one was a both for me. So here we go. Good route, finding the dead spot there. Great upfield, breaking tackles, but that is one of my concerns there at the very end. He gets knocked.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried about his size. I think he is a little, we have a similar size as to him and Rondale Moore, but I think he's much more frail. Doesn't carry his weight nearly the same way that Moore does. And so that is one thing that I am a little bit like, does he have the frame? Does he have the body? That is a little bit of a concern for me.
He got lit up in the LSU game that I had. I didn't pick this play, but he got lit up, I think, one or two times there where I'm just like, and he wanted to get every yard he could.
Yeah.
Which is like a good thing.
Right.
But the injury concerns are going to be there.
Yeah. I don't think there was a clip I didn't put in here, but he got knocked. I forget what the opponent was. And the very next play, he came back and he made a big play. So, man, I think he's able to take it.
Okay. This play, I simply wanted to show off. Look at him. He takes a few steps, kind of breaks in a little bit, and then takes off. Acceleration 0 to 60 to split both of these guys. Watch him. He's kind of going 80%, 100, and he's just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone. And it's such a short little clip. We don't even know what happens he doesn't even get the ball, I don't think. But just to show that ability to be able to say, like, okay, I'm going to be really fast right now. And he's just gone. Like, there's nothing you can do. That is very, very special.
Ethan asks, Waddle, high 4.3 guy? I think he's a low 4.3 guy.
Oh, he might be a 4.2 guy.
Very close.
Yeah.
He might be a 4.2 guy.
See, here you can see the physicality.
So this, I wanted to balance that out a little bit because I gave the negative with that. But his mentality, I think, is good.
I like that, Garrett.
Yep. So that's the difference between, like, he might not have the physicality, but the mentality is there. And so if he gets in a weight room, he gets stronger. He is not afraid of going right through these guys, and he's still fighting for every extra yard. Ends up breaking that tackle from 42, and then it takes two more guys to bring it down. So I might be worried about the physicality, but I like the mentality of the player.
Just watch him weave. He's so good at weaving at full speed.
Smooth.
Look at this cut. It's like a 45-degree cut.
You know what's interesting is so Joseph Murphy over here, he asked, Waddle's pure electricity and plays physical too. Does he remind you of Percy Harvin coming out of college in terms of skill set? I think he has more in his skill set than Harvin, because Harvin played probably more running back than receiver, and he has more burst. But Harvin also had that mindset where he didn't care about his body and would sacrifice it. Now, again, it hurt him in the NFL with concussions, but he had some of that same, like, he'll run hard through this seam, and sometimes he'll make it and make big plays at Florida.
Joseph, yes, we are getting YouTube comments.
Yep. Sorry if we missed one. Feel free to ask again if we miss a question.
Well, I just answered his question.
Yeah, I didn't know if before.
Okay.
But here, I just wanted to. I mean, it's a run play, but he's working. He's working the guy. It could have been could have had the option to throw possibly.
Say, is that an RPO maybe? Did the offensive lineman get downfield at all?
Yeah, it could have been like a half field option type play, but I mean, just a quick route, smooth, breaks him off, wide open. Lined up here in the slot, catches a bubble. See ya. I posted this one on Twitter this week. I couldn't believe it.
Getting this all 22.
I couldn't believe it, man. Just watch this.
He cuts those.
These cuts.
He didn't even need to do that.
At the speed
that's just showing off. He could have scored without doing that. He's just showing off.
It's like little subtle movements. Like, all right, he catches the ball here. He adjusts to the outside there to beat that guy. Weaves back inside to avoid the oncoming defender, and then he just puts these guys. It's like the old Michael Vick scramble play where the guys run into each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the commercial, the Mike Vick experience.
Oh, jeez.
That commercial, one of the greatest commercials ever.
It's just special. Yeah, it's a great commercial. They throw a lot of bubble screens to him. I can't wait to see him in a more featured role this year. I wanted to show off the catch here. Good adjustment, good hands. On a tough ball.
I didn't see any drops in my games. Did you guys see any drops in yours?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So this next play here, we'll let it run. You can see he's blocking, one of the lead blockers here for Devontae Smith, but his guy makes the tackle. I thought he came out a little soft, a little weak. Could have come out a little harder and thrown. He's kind of playing patty cake out there.
Mm-hmm. Needs those heavy hands.
Yeah, I noticed that a few times actually, and I was hoping. I didn't think I was going to, just because he runs so physical sometimes. Mm-hmm. I thought that would translate into blocking, but I mean, Garrett, you showed it earlier when he wasn't getting the ball. You know, he was
slacked off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm out here. But
give it the old college try.
You know, not every play can be perfect. We're being nitpicky, of course, but
for sure.
Another bubble screen. So I thought he could have taken this outside. I thought he could have beaten this guy here, followed his blocks, run close to Judy and Ruggs, and scored. But a little too much dancing. I wish I had a better angle.
You know, the cardinal sin of bubble screens is you don't cut inside.
Yeah.
You just stay outside.
So, again, we're being nitpicky. But
I think you're right there.
That's what we're doing.
Well, and he doesn't even make that guy miss. Let's just say that much.
Right.
Which is surprising for him.
All right.
Whoop. Whoop. Whoop.
Poor Arkansas.
So, again, just showing off his playmaking ability, the ability to make guys miss in a phone booth. Just quick twitch. Just like him and Rondale Moore both have that natural quick twitch ability to make guys miss.
Is that Tua's brother?
Huh?
Is that Tua's brother?
Right there? That's Tua's brother. Yep.
Where did he transfer to? Maryland?
Maryland.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I was going to draft him in that C2C league. Oh,
I have him in the other league.
Guys, in the Nerds Campus to Canton League, I got both Rondale Moore and Jalen Waddle somehow. Waddle fell to 2-3. It's like, what are my guys doing here? How's he falling in the second round? I don't get it.
Shouldn't happen.
I traded up to grab him, though.
I will say we'll get into this. I think he is a really, really good prospect. For fantasy football, though, I think that's the right range. The reason being is
he's
I
a
think
first-round player.
but the role at the next level that he is likely to play is not going to be one of high volume. Whereas I think all of those other three guys that we've talked about are more likely to either be an X or be a heavily targeted guy out of the slot.
I think Waddle can be that too. I think he'll be just like Rondale Moore in that same role.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be a much more of that, like that big play type of guy. I don't think he can take the abuse of, at least at this point, of 120 targets cutting across the middle. Like I don't see that. I see it more big plays and gadget plays.
So this is that play. I did keep that in, Garrett. So I was wrong, or J-Wack, in terms of abuse. So what I like about this play, though, is he knows his speed. Like, watch him hesitate. He's like, I can beat this guy to the corner. And he's no room, and he beats him to the corner. But then he gets as many yards, and I'm just going to take a hit. Like, I like it, and I don't like it, you know?
Yeah. So fast.
Dude, he's
so furious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I disagree with you a little bit, Garrett. I think he's going to be a guy that they're going to have to get the ball in his hands because he's such a dynamic playmaker. And he can get open like we're watching with his route running, and he makes catches. He can catch the ball fine.
So if you want to go back, so this play
my bad.
I highlighted.
I thought that was the same play.
If I know. So what I like here is that he has to get inside of this backer, that guy, and who's coming from the inside, and he avoids him. Like that's pretty good in terms of your route running. When you're a smaller guy, you're going to have to be able to do that, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good play. That's all. It wasn't.
Oh, I love this play.
Oh,
we'll just let it ride. Man.
That's crazy.
Joe Murphy asks, "Why do you think that he's gotten hurt 0 times, Garrett?"
I'm not saying I think he's necessarily injury prone. I'm worried about his physicality at the next level to be able to take that abuse with that type of frame. I'm not saying I think he's an injury prone player. I'm just saying that type of frame that he has does not lend to somebody that you're going to say, okay, we're going to pepper this guy with targets over the middle, taking the abuse of linebackers and safeties over and over and over like that. He strikes me much more as a Deshaun Jackson type archetype, more so than your typical slot guy that you would heavily target. So I'm not trying to say he's a bad player. I think his name deserves to be in this conversation with these guys. I just think the type of usage that he'll be getting at the next level will not be the same that those other 3 guys that we're talking about will get. So for me, like he's definitely the 4th out of those 4, not because he's a lesser player or a lesser athlete.
So the thing I like the most about this play, though, is he keeps his balance after that.
He got his head ripped off.
Like and then he's just aggressive. He's like, oh, I hate LSU. You know what I mean? I'm making this play. I mean, that's a big play in this game.
That's crazy, man. How can you keep your feet, getting your neck broken like that? And
then score.
Yeah.
Some people get scared after that. It's like, nope. That's a heck of a play.
I'm going to go to the next one here. Let that play like 5 times.
I mean, for good reason. It's pretty good play.
It is.
Oh, another one.
And there's like 6 replays. All right, we got him here in the slot. Nick.
Yeah, I don't remember why I picked this one. We'll see. Oh, it's the route. So watch him that little stem, and he makes the safety fall down, and he comes flat across the field, which is exactly what you need. It's a rolling cut, but he comes flat. So if he does get the ball, but that's route running right there. That little movement right there, that's big. That's the NFL right there. Boom. I mean, this is LSU. This isn't Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
This isn't, Alabama State. This is the national championships. Oh, you're on the ground. Sorry.
And it shows how much he respected his speed too. because he was breaking downfield before he even got there.
Yeah.
So that shows how much you respect his speed.
A lot of people out there were comping Jalen Waddle. I mean, Henry Ruggs to Tyreek Hill, but I think Waddle plays more like Hill than Ruggs does.
Way more like Hill, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of who he reminds me of. I don't like comping players at Tyreek Hill, though, because he's such a freak.
Yeah, but the problem is people think like it's like their career arc. It's like their game is similar. That's just all it means.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I threw this one in here, Nick. I wasn't sure if this was one of them. I didn't know if you're showing his takeoff here.
No.
Okay. We'll just move on by. And I was like,
That's right. That's me with at least one play every time. I'm like, well, I don't know why I did that.
And this one, I just like the route running because he has to. So if you watch this one, it's 4th down. This guy's inside, right? He's thinking he's going inside. So he fakes outside and then still gets back inside of him.
And don't be confused by the yellow circle.
Yeah.
Which happened to me the first 2 times. I was like,
yeah,
wait,
we're looking.
number 6.
He's in the slot on the top of the screen. I just thought that's such a great route.
People have
and
to
to
watch
me,
that guy
that's
soon.
why I believe in his game at the next level more than anything because he is a nuanced route runner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's a.
I mean, if he throws at them there, he scores a touchdown. 2 of them messed up.
Yeah. Again. There's a better view of it here.
Yep. And then, you'll see in the second one where he beats him inside. But what I don't, and this is the one negative I had on him here, is I thought he took too much time with this cut. I thought he could have, he kind of stuttered a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And he could have just went.
And he could have maybe
more separation.
Taken that upfield more rather than taking it across.
Mm-hmm. But he still got open. So it's, he knows his, his body, or he's waiting for he's having to clear out.
But I mean, it's a 6.
Yeah, touchdown.
Yeah. Come on, Tua. What are you doing?
Messing up.
Don't give that ball to Judy. He doesn't want to get hit.
Oh, Judy. Him and Jefferson.
Boz asks, how much of a volume increase do you guys anticipate for Waddle in college without Ruggs and Judy?
A massive one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the targets in front of me of what is being vacated.
Well, what's going to be interesting, you can just stop it here because this is where we're going to have fun, is, Smith had the best year last year out of all of them. And it'll be interesting to see if he steps up. But then Waddle finally gets a chance where he's not overshadowed by guys older than him. And we'll see what happens. So, okay, we had talked earlier, Garrett, about his speed versus Ruggs. We've seen this play how many times?
Yeah.
Right? Watch Henry Ruggs catch him, right? Okay, so Ruggs is, you highlighted it. If you go back. So Ruggs has no one to interfere with him on, right? Straight line, Ruggs just chases him down. Waddle here goes through traffic, okay, has to widen, go around a ref, and he's right there with it. And he has to come at a little bit of an angle. I get that. So that might be easier, but also, with avoiding, and Ruggs goes in a straight line. Who's faster?
It's going to be close.
No one looks at Waddle here.
Dude, he's so...
Look at him moving. He's like, we are not giving up a touchdown to Tennessee.
To be fair, Ruggs wasn't really running at first, but...
Well, Waddle wasn't either. Waddle kind of stopped here. He stopped. Now he goes. He's got 2 yards on him.
Dude, watch him explode.
Dude, I know, dude.
He takes really long strides for a shorter player,
and that's why he's so good, Gary. God, get off your negativity. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, where do you guys have him ranked?
Don't take the wind out of my sails.
I have him at 4 too.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nick. Where do you have him ranked?
Man,
yeah, 4th as well. Thank you.
I didn't say where I have him.
But him and Chase are real close.
No, you do. You have him at 4.
He could, honestly, he could surpass Chase depending on how this year goes for Chase. Because, he had that one blow-up year in that really, really high-powered offense with Joe Burrow. Like, let's see what Chase does this year with not so great of a quarterback.
Waddle would have to show me that he can be more physical and that he can do more on the outside for me to be willing to move him ahead of Chase.
He's not going to be an outside receiver, though.
What's that?
Say he's not going to be an outside receiver.
I don't think he will either, but that's the thing. Like, he could, I don't think he will. For me, I just don't think his ability, not his ability, because I think his ability is on par or even maybe better than some of those guys. But I think the role that he will play based on his size, his speed, his skill set is not going to lend to the type of volume that the other three guys will get. And I'm including Moore in that because I think Moore will get fed a ton. It'll be mostly out of the slot, but I think he will be much more of the big play type player, the boomer bust, 3 touchdowns 1 week, 2 catches for 40 yards the next week.
So, okay, let's walk through his game quickly, okay? He has elite athleticism, and I don't throw those words out often. He has elite athleticism.
Agree. I agree with that.
Okay, he has nuanced route running.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of attacking defenders where he needs to and separating. I thought he used his hands during his route running. Jared, you had a play where he caught outside of his frame, like really high, right?
Yep.
So what is he missing to play outside receiver?
I'm not saying he won't. I think he
would.
I'm
just asking.
Yeah, I just haven't really seen him do that yet at all. So it's just tough to.
Because when you want to look at it, I mean, you have big guys on the outside at times, but they don't win with route running. But then you have like Antonio Brown on the outside who win with route running. They can't touch him.
Yeah.
And imagine any corner trying to it'd be so tough to guard him. I feel like. So I don't know where
you put your guys in the best situations based on their strengths, and I think as a coach, you would want to put Waddle at the slot just based on his skill set. So I don't foresee them putting him on the outside, I guess is.
Nick, you keep dodging the question. Who's for?
Man, I don't know. Because I think Rashad Bateman is the worst athlete of the 4.
Okay.
We had already Chase is the worst route runner of the 4. I think Chase is the 3rd worst athlete. Right.
Okay.
I mean, if we want to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I think Bateman and Chase are very similar athletes. Overall athletic profile.
Oh, right. Yeah, they're closer. And then Waddle and Moore are closer.
Right. Are much more freaks, yeah.
And they're in their tier of their own, I think, in that regard.
Exactly.
Man, this is going to be tough.
What'd you ask, Nick?
Okay, I'm going to have him 4. Man, I wanted to have him higher, but I just can't do it.
You can't.
And
those other 3 have things he just doesn't have.
He's got a ceiling, though.
For sure.
That I think it's more, and the other 3 are in a different group.
Yeah.
All in the same tier.
We got a whole year of football to go. Well, hopefully, right? But I mean, we're talking in terms of Devy, so people are doing their Devy drafts right now and selecting those guys, so it's important. That's why we're looking at them. Yeah.
Nick's so mad that he had to put him 4. He was convincing himself to put him somewhere else.
I just want to force myself in there, and I couldn't do it.
All right.
Anybody have any questions before we call it a night here? We appreciate everybody coming in, stopping in. If you stopped in here late, these do get put up on YouTube and Twitch. Full replays are out there, and we also put the individual player breakdowns up on YouTube as well.
John Bridge bringing up my dude Tamori and Terry. I like
How about this one?
Can't wait to watch him.
Who gets drafted higher, Waddle or Devontae Smith?
Waddle.
Probably Waddle.
Smith's got a good game, man.
Smith's a very good player too.
He does, but
it'll be fun 5-6 years from now to see how all of these Alabama receivers turned out. To see if they all lived up to the hype. Some of them did, none of them did. It'll be really interesting to see how all that plays out.
What do you guys think Smith runs? Because I think he's fast as shit too.
He is.
He is. I think he's closer to Judy than he is these 2 guys.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think Judy's the slowest of the 4.
Yeah, me too.
He probably is.
I mean, he's not for slow either.
He ran 4.4.
He's not slow, but of the 4. Yeah, I thought that was a good question. How about man? Do you want to talk about Terry or no?
No, we need to cover him. He's okay. Yeah, we need to save him because I've been a big Terry fan for a while now, and it was fun to see some of the things that he does at such a big frame. to do some of the things that he does.
Yeah. Reminds me of like a better DK Metcalf.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
But
What's
we
his
are
three
also, we have to schedule too, when we're going to have, I don't know, maybe this is like giving it away. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but we're going to have Josh Johnson from ULM on the show. We need to pick a week out, maybe 2 weeks from now.
And people do not know about him enough yet.
They don't.
Garrett, we have not put him out there enough. Like, you got me
Nick
on
doesn't
board.
know enough either.
I'm
Nick.
on
You guys,
board.
this
Nick is a
this
hater
DJ,
like usual.
DJ Dallas all over again.
You say that like it's a bad thing. DJ Dallas is the man. Okay?
Yeah.
DJ Dallas got taken in the 4th round, is about to be the starter for the Seahawks.
Don't hate on our
The
boy.
starter. Oh, man.
Chris Carson's going to fumble his way out of town. He's going
We got
to
some
break another
questions here.
hip. And then DJ Dallas says, don't worry, guys, I got this.
Do you see they might sign Devontae Freeman?
I did. I see they're interested in Carlos Hyde too. I wouldn't be shocked. I think that tells me 2 things. One, that tells me actually a lot of things. One, the rumors of Penny not being ready are absolutely true. Like he is not going to be ready to go. 2,
And he's not good.
we keep hearing that Carson is going to be ready, but kind of similar to Atlanta, they're like, yeah, we hope Todd Gurley's healthy. Nobody really knows what's going on right now because they're not able to hang out with these players. Like they're not able to get them in house. So I wonder, Pete Carroll's super positive. He's always going to say the most positive thing he possibly can. So I don't trust anything he says on Chris Carson. So we'll see. Maybe he is healthy. And I actually do like Chris Carson as a player. I think he's a very underrated.
Oh, he's so underrated.
But I'm not convinced he's healthy either. So it will be very interesting. I would not be shocked if a Freeman, a Hyde, Lamar
DJ Dallas
Miller,
even
A
healthy?
Dallas.
We don't know if DJ Dallas is healthy. No,
DJ
we
Dallas
don't
is
know if
always
anybody's healthy.
he's always healthy.
What else do we have over here?
Compare.
When does Nick get a special guest on the Nerds Pod? Mitch, it's a good question. I'm holding out for a higher signing bonus. You guys got to get on Rich. He's trying to undercut.
Now, to be fair, you have done the Nerds podcast video form.
Right.
You have been on with me, Matt, and Rich on YouTube,
Right.
but you have not done it on purely audio form yet.
No. So just you get on Rich. You tell him to talk to my agent. Got to up the stakes a little bit.
Whenever Nick moves to Ohio.
Scott Boris. Yeah. Move on out. Come golf with me and J-Wack.
Gosh, they're trying to convince me. If I do that, we're gonna have Taco Bell all the time in golf. That's all we're gonna do.
That sounds amazing.
Let's see.
I mean,
I-
I'll have
I-
diarrhea
these
for the
things-
rest of my life, but
CL asks, compared to the top wide receivers in this year's draft, as far as pre-NFL rankings, that's where it ends. But I assume he's asking where we would have him ranked.
compare these two guys.
Yeah, I would. Shit.
It's that's how good this class is. Like it rivals and could potentially beat last year's class or this year's class.
Dennis.
Right now, if I had to, let's just say I'll rank them because pre-draft, we're not going to talk about landing spots. I would have it Moore, and then Lamb would be in the group of Bateman, Chase, and Waddle, and then Judy would be in that one too, and then another tier break, and then you'd have the rest of the guys.
Okay, so you would have more
In tier 1
or
by himself.
2021 guys in that top 6 or 7, however many it was, that you would.
He'd
Then
be
you
by
would-
himself.
2020.
He'd be
At
by
one.
himself up there, yeah.
Wow. It's so close. I'm tempted to put more ahead of Bateman. It's really, really close for me. I might make the jump. He's really good. Yeah, it's tough, man.
Whoa, I just had the biggest voice crack ever. Dennis says Nick only does video because he's handsome. Don't tell him that. Look at him now.
These
He's
are all
so
facts.
happy.
These are all facts.
Man, how's my hair?
Well, that's it for tonight, I think. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Next week, we have Max Borgi, however the hell you want to say it, and Najee Harris. So, another good one.
Another one.
So, tune in next week to see our thoughts. Again, if you didn't catch this one, there will be a full replay up on YouTube, and as well as the individual player breakdowns.
Hey, Garrett, why don't you tell people maybe stuff you're working on and where people can find you?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because we always forget to do that. So good looking out, Nick. Yes, you can find all of my work with Dynasty Nerds. You can follow me on Twitter at Dynasty Price. Even got a little something. It's been a few months, and I'm a little behind, but I'm kind of setting up a new mini season of Faith and Fantasy Football, which is something that I like to do on Twitter. And so that will be coming within the next few weeks here. We'll be looking at getting 5, 6, 7 episodes in the summer before we get into college football, NFL football, that kind of stuff. So that will be coming your way soon.
What about you, J-Wack? Anything?
Yeah, so right now our Devi team is pumping out freshman profile articles. So I highly suggest you guys take a look at those. They're super in-depth. They give a good breakdown of this season outlook, what you can expect from them. They pull out individual gifts and clips to show traits on each player's abilities and stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for those. We have those coming out from here on till the season starts. And then we'll also be pumping out some team preview articles in terms of Devi content too. So we're really hitting the Devi content hard. We're going to really focus on some campus to Canton stuff because that seems to be something that's lacking in the space. So we're gonna be hitting that hard too. So if you're looking to join a campus to Canton league, stay tuned because we got some good stuff coming out. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, so at _ Nick Whalen on Twitter. I'm working on a kind of what the first round would be, kind of the guys we're talking about here for 4 for 4. That's one article I got coming out, and then I'm done with the graduates. If people don't know my publications, that's the draft class we just had. That's available. People can purchase. There's a link in my Twitter. There's a link on Dynasty Nerds. And then next week, I'm hoping to release Dynasty Startup. I'm pumped about. Think of all of the philosophy and everything you need to from start to finish of your startup draft. What you need to be thinking, tracking, philosophies, what positions, scoring system, all that kind of stuff. Just things you need to be thinking of to be prepared. And then in terms of Devi, my Devi report will be coming out this summer. People always want that stuff right now, but I'm one man and I have no editor. So that's where we're at right now. And then Mitch, I'll answer you real quick. Personally, ask how my foot is. That is something that's near and dear to my heart. I appreciate you asking.
Your foot's not near to your heart. You're terrible with it.
Near and dear to my heart, asking about my foot?
No, your foot's all the way down at the bottom. Your heart's all the way in your chest. They're not even close.
Dude, I need one of those. Bill Nye the Science Guy's got to just show me anatomy where things are. So I recently bought a road bike. I've been biking to get cardio in because of my foot injury. So I have Morton's neuroma. I've had 2 cortisone shots, PT work. I've seen 3 different doctors on it. I've had 3 of 4 shots in my foot. They're ultrasound guided to go right into the neuroma. Neuroma is like an irritated nerve is what it is, and it won't go away even with rest. I've tried for 3 months. And I've had better relief now than I did before the second shot. And they're just trying to kill the nerve. And I was able to run on it with mild pain. So I'm hoping the last one can do the trick and I can run again. That would be really, really good for me. So I appreciate you asking, Mitch. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully that finally gets to 100%, man. Fingers crossed for you.
Thanks, man.
Well, we'll see you next week with Najee Harris and Max Borghi. Again, thanks for joining us. Until next time, we're out of here.